Okay, so now let him sniff that you have it, and then toss it in the kennel. And don't say the normal word.
Greedy.
There you go. Now walk behind him. Grab the racket, walk up there. Perfect. All right, take one step. When he's wait for. Never move unless he's looking at you. All right, when he's stationary, take one step backwards. When he's stationary and looking at you. That'll work. Excellent. All right, so basically what we're going to do is when you do this exercise, make sure you keep, if you're using the tennis racket, make sure the racket stays about 4 to 6 inches towards you. That's great. Oh, big step backwards. We're going to wait for him to LAY this time. No, keep the racket here and just stay. I'd like him to actually LAY, which is what I normally do. Since he's better than him, we'll probably be able to achieve it. So basically, you're just going to keep on stepping away, and you can take another step back. Now what we do is we wait for him to LAY. As soon as he LAYs, I'm going to have you take a knee, put the tennis racket to your side, go turn sideways to him, and then pull a treat out, and then extend your arm towards him and give him the COME command. And then at that point, he's able to come out. Now the first couple times, like you just saw, he's going to be reluctant to come out. He's like, I'm not sure what I'm doing. This is why we practice it. After we practice it and he understands it, his confidence will increase and he'll do it faster. When he gets to the point where he starts LAYing within 30 seconds, then you're going to, after he LAYs, we're going to start adding time. So after he LAYs within 30 seconds, we're going to wait 30 seconds before we call him out. Then I would like to have you do it for 30 seconds for that same dog, and then your kids, if they participate with. So everybody is on the same schedule with the dog. The dog has to wait for 30 seconds for everybody. Then we repeat the process, but this time we go to 1 minute, then 2 minutes, and go by 1 minute increments all the way up to 10 minutes. Now, if you want, you can pull out a chair and sit down, but when you sit down, you lose some authority. So make sure when you sit down, you're watching the dog carefully and that you're pointed at the dog. Don't turn your knees to the side or your hips to the side. Otherwise, your authority is going to go there. Now, again, this is going to be an exercise that's really going to help them learn to exhibit some self-control. That's all right. Good job of not reacting. You're biting your lip a little bit. That's okay. But again, your dogs, the bigger problem that you have between your dog, you have two major problems. Now he's breathing heavy. This is physically difficult for him to do. The two major problems you have for your dogs is they don't have the rules and structure. They don't see you guys as authority figures, and their energy is too high. They don't have much self-control. So this exercise specifically is going to help with the self-control. Just because I want something doesn't mean I get it. I have to wait for my guardian to give me permission to have it. And we're not asking him to do anything that's too outrageous, to stay inside the kennel, and we're waiting for him to LAY. Now, if we tell him to SIT or LAY, it doesn't mean anything. But if he does it on his own, he's actually communicating something to us. So hopefully we can get to this without going to 8 minutes like in the other video. So I can post this on my website. I find if it's longer than a 5-minute video, I have problems uploading it, and sometimes people don't watch it as much. Now at first this is going to be, he's going to breathe heavy, he's going to fight, he's going to put up a protest. After a while they're going to go in and lay down right away. And that's when we start adding time. Now again, make sure that whenever possible you put a treat in the kennel so that they go in the kennel, they get one, something good happens. And if they get a new toy, you can introduce it there as well. And we're not going to let them go into each other's kennels anymore. So if you notice that, or the kids do, we immediately make that dog leave. And when the dogs see that you're controlling who has access to kennels, that's going to make them feel a little bit more secure. I think a lot of these problems is they think they need to work out things on their own. I know it's a tough pug life, huh? Okay. So that one, I hadn't tightened it. You would want to adjust it a little bit, and then the martingale will prevent, he won't be able to slide it off when you're pulling it. I just worried like that one, if you notice, if he pulls the right angle, he could probably pop that off his collar off his head. We have a little bit of some challenging going on over there, which makes it more challenging. Oh, I was going to LAY right at the edge. Nope. Now you can address that. There you go.
Out, Roscoe. Out.
And you can use your tennis racket. That was good. Even though your attention was diverted, he stayed in the kennel.
Roscoe. Roscoe, come.
So where'd you come up with the name from? I've only got one other dog with his name.
Edgar.
Uh-huh.
Because he wouldn't go to sleep when he was an infant unless he was on my chest, listening to the heartbeat. So his name's Edgar Allen.
Okay. There we go. I'm just glad it's not the cross-dresser that was the influencer.
I don't know a cross-dresser named Edgar.
Edgar Hoover.
Oh,
I don't know that person.
J. Edgar Hoover.
He ran the FBI.
Director of the
He
FBI.
was a cross-dresser?
Yes.
Allegedly.
Well, yeah,
Allegedly?
allegedly. Yeah, I guess that is alleged, but it's been alleged a lot.
Nope, he's a poet.
No, Edgar Allan Poe.
I couldn't figure out when he was an infant why he wouldn't go to sleep. And I put him right here, and he would.
They actually have, like, some people put like alarm clocks with a ticking. That sometimes helps.
So it's just the two of them.
Well, and you guys did a really good job, service. I mean, it's tough when, these dogs are more challenging because they didn't get to grow up with their mother. I mean, you were their mother, literally. I mean, usually, I corrected you, but you really essentially almost were their mother. You didn't give birth to them, but you've been there since pretty much day 5. Now, the problem is the mother would teach them a lot of little lessons as a puppy that we didn't learn. And so that's okay. We can still teach.
And they've always been competing from the very.
Yeah,
very
that's
first
where
minute.
that sibling rivalry expression comes from. I mean, it's, yeah. Dogs, a lot of people will
starts
tell
from day
you,
one.
a lot of people will tell you can't have 2 males from the same litter. You can, it's more challenging.
I knew it would be challenging. I just couldn't bear to think of which one was going to go.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. So, can I do it? No.
Take another step back. So at this point, we're several feet away. And there's nothing but open space between him and you.
Let's go. Let's go, come.
But the fact that he's another good indicator is he's in the back of the kennel. When they really want to come out, they're
Right on.
challenging right at the front.
Now here's another big challenge. Ray.
Sorry, kitty.
Cat whisperer.
Rush, 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 rush. There you go. All right, take a big step back. And that's a whole bunch of steps. So I would take one step, stop, read the dog, and then take another step. Now, normally, again, I wait until the dog, big step backwards. As soon as the SAT is going to take just one big step backwards. Now, because we're at 7 minutes, we're going to go ahead and let him out now. So go ahead and turn to the side, put the racket down, and pull the treat out, and hold the treat towards him and say, see you on me.
Sit.
Come.
Sit.
Make a kiss.
Sit.
Come.
Off.
No.
Come,
Come.
come, come.
Come.
So again, minute by minute, you're going to need to really increase the limit. And it's going to be challenging at first, but after you've done it a couple times, you should see him getting better at it faster and faster.